I truthfully believe that the universe is a very giving place. And I don't want to sound, airy-fairy, but I truthfully believe the universe is a giving place, and that if you actually really want something, you can have it. How much you want is how much you're prepared to sacrifice. So if you want $500,000 a year, you can definitely make that. And that level of stress you'll absorb for that money and the amount of headache you'll go through, if that's the amount you're prepared to accept for a happy life, you'll have it. The number one factor that's going to decide how successful you are as a person is your ability to absorb stress, your stress level. The better you are at dealing with stress, the more problems you can fix, the more money you're going to make. And life really doesn't have to be that complicated. When you see somebody that has something you want, you just got to try and work out how they got it.
Yeah.
And that's the missing part. Most people see people with things they want and they don't do the second half. They don't try and work out how they got that thing. Oh, my man has a Ferrari. Okay. I wish I had a Ferrari. Okay. They don't sit there and go for an hour, how did he get a Ferrari? It doesn't cross that part is the part they don't want to do, right? They just go, oh, here's a Ferrari, wish I had a Ferrari, and they go back to TV.
Yeah.
And that's why they lose. When I talk about the Matrix, I'm talking about the systems which have been created by society, which are deliberately designed to enslave. In the movie, the Matrix were used for our body heat, but here in this Matrix, we're used for our efforts and our energies. And you're existing inside of a system which is deliberately rigged to make the rich richer and for the poor to stay poor.
Yeah.
And you can sit there and get upset about it. You can sit there and cry about it and say the system needs to change, which is what some people do, socialists, XYZ. But I know that's a waste of time, right? That's futile. The best thing to do is to understand the rules of the game and find a way to win. I believe there's only 3 reasons people are not rich. One of 3 reasons. They're either stupid, arrogant, or lazy. Stupid is actually the smallest category. People think, oh, there's a lot of stupid people. There are, but I know a lot of stupid people with a lot of money. Lazy because people just, oh, but I need time to myself. Oh, but it's the evening. Or, it's hyper competitive. There are people who do not need time to themselves. There's an Indian in Islam, or there's a guy in Islamabad who will do your job online for $3 an hour and he doesn't sleep. You're going to lose. Lazy is a big problem because people go, oh, but I just want to relax. If you just want to relax, that's fine. But you're competing against people who just don't want to relax and you're going to lose people. But the main reason people are not rich is because they are arrogant. I sit here as a billionaire and I sit and say, I will teach you how to make money online. Anybody, 18 modern wealth creation methods. It's $49 a month and I will teach you. And people will sit there in their brutal arrogance and as a brokey with no money and go, yeah, but can he really teach me? I have everything you've ever fucking dreamed of. And I have all the money. You have nothing. And you're so arrogant that you believe you know more than me, or that you can do it without me, or that I don't know how to teach you. The arrogance of people is truly mind-bending. If you know so much, why are you broke? If I wanted to learn how to box, I wouldn't walk into a boxing gym, find a guy who could box and go, yeah, not bad, but can he really punch? Like, this is how people think when it comes to money. Most people are brutally arrogant. And you can sit there and you can try and help them, and they're just so arrogant. They think, oh, I can do it myself, or I'll work it out myself. I don't need help. And it's arrogance, and it keeps them at the bottom. I got asked this the most when I was fighting. I'd beat somebody up in sparring, and they'd say to me, man, why do you keep beating me? Because I work harder than you and I'm better than you. Yeah, but what should I do different? There is nothing I can say to you that's going to stop me beating you. If I could just say a few words and you listen to them and then I couldn't beat you up anymore, the training would be pointless. Working would be pointless. The world doesn't work that way. I beat you up because I am better than you. And I am better than you because I work harder. There's no shortcuts in life. I don't know why everyone's obsessed with shortcuts. It's this new generation of fucking losers. All I know, what I will say as a matter of fact, is this world is hyper competitive, especially as a man. Most men are walking through life and they don't realize that it's constant competition. And all these NPCs, I'm just looking at them going, do they realize they're in endless constant competition? Every single pound they want, someone else wants. Every single girl they want, someone else wants. There are people like me out here. I will destroy, you could get all 30 of them in a room and I will sit by myself and absolutely annihilate them in any single metric. And they're just sitting there just fucking floundering and wandering through life, unaware of how competitive the world is. And this is actually what's interesting about the world, because the world's changed. Men used to go to war and fight each other in physical combat, and now we don't because we're more civilized in some regards. That's violence is still the bottom line of society, but we try and avoid it. Men are constantly doing combat by showing each other how we can move world with money. We're constantly in combat because of our status. 99% of what men do is for status. We want to be in good shape for status. We want the fast car for status. We want the nice house for status. We want the diamond watch. We want the hot girl. This is all for our status. Look at me. I'm the big dog. This is how we compete with each other. If you're going to be a dude who pretends that's not true, or be a dude who doesn't want to compete, your life's going to fucking suck. Success comes from working absolutely every single day. It's exactly the same with anything in life. Doesn't matter if you want to be strong in the gym, doesn't matter if you want to be an amazing fighter, good at guitar, or if you want to be successful inside of the real world. You are only going to be successful if you turn up and you work every single day. All I do is work every single day. Why do you think you're better than me? You think you're more qualified than me? If I have to work every single day, Andrew Tate has to work every single day to be successful. But me, Joe Schmo, Mr. Nobody, I don't have to work every single day. Turn off, follow the lessons, listen to your professors, do the AMAs. If you have a question, ask the community, and I guarantee you success. The only people who don't make money inside the real world are people who quit. Every time I did push-ups and they saw me doing them, I believed in my heart it annoyed them. And I am a very stubborn man because they wanted me to be sad and broken. But every time they saw me, I was sweating and training. And every single time they'd check, they saw nothing but a lion who refused to stop doing push-ups. And they didn't want to do push-ups. They were too lazy. They're sitting around. They're the guards. They're not doing anything. And every single time they checked me for weeks and weeks and weeks, all I did was train. And I found the motivation to do it by knowing that it bothered them that I refused to quit. I'm stubborn like that. I don't even know if it's true. All I know is that I can adopt a mental model which makes me as competitive as possible, and I decided my push-ups bothered them, and they were the ones who were keeping me locked in a room, so I will do push-ups at them. I didn't do push-ups for me. I did push-ups at them endlessly. If I was awake, I was doing push-ups, or I was resting, preparing for my next set at them. Google Man Alive. We are living movie scripts. Right, because we have bravery. Most men sit there and wonder why they're depressed because you don't get to live a movie. You're not the main character of anything. You're not even a secondary character in anyone else's movie. You're an unimportant nobody because you were afraid your entire life. You've lived like a coward your whole life. You were afraid of what might happen if you have some balls. And then you wonder why you're depressed. I'd be depressed if I was you. Feeling depressed is real.
Yeah.
Depression as a disease, I do not subscribe to. The idea, I believe, that if you feel depressed, something is depressing you, and you should try your best to fix it. You should take control of your life and do your best to fix it. And people sit there and they try very hard to convince me it's real, which is actually quite interesting because it's always usually depressed people who sit there and try very hard to defend this idea. If you're so scared, if depression's so terrible, why are you sticking up for it? Why are you fighting so hard to convince me it's such a powerful force? Why shouldn't you be doing the opposite? Shouldn't you be listening to me? Whose team are you on? Like, do you want to be depressed? Like, it's insanity, these people who are so desperate to push this idea. Let's pretend I'm completely wrong, right? We can look at situational depression like you just described. We can talk about brain imbalance and chemical imbalance. We can talk about clinical depression that you get and it's chronic and there's nothing you can do about it, whatever. Let's pretend all these things are completely true. The best option, the best thing to do is still to get up, be an adult, control your emotions, be stoic, and do the things you're supposed to do day after day. Laying in bed and doing nothing is never going to be the best option. The best option is still to go to the gym, to work hard, to run your business, to be successful. As a man, you can be anything you decide you want to be. That's the beauty of being a male. You can build your character completely from the ground up, just like a video game. Every single thing about me that people respect, I built. I was not born a world champion kickboxer. I was not born this intelligent or intellectual. I was not born this rich. I was not born this strong. I was not born this confident. I was not born this interesting. I was not born this charismatic and humble and gorgeous and tall and strong and sexy. I was not born none of these things. I became these things myself, so I deserve all the spoils of war. And anybody who decides they don't want to work hard enough to become those things, then they deserve to sit and accept they're my inferior. Yeah, that's their problem. I can't help quitters. Nobody can help a quitter. God can't help a quitter. God could give you a plan and said you could have everything you've ever desired if you follow this plan. If you quit halfway through the plan, you're not going to have what you desire. If you do exactly what we tell you to do and you work hard and you actually try, you're going to be successful. So the question is, do you want it or not? There's no shortcuts. If you want to beat me in sparring, you're going to have to come and train harder than I train. And you have to dedicate yourself for as long as I have. And if you want to be rich, you're going to have to do exactly as we tell you to do. Don't ask any more stupid questions. I don't want to hear it. It's asinine. It hurts my brain. Losers lose because they quit. If you are indefatigable and you never quit, I can guarantee you success. The choice is yours.